Welcome to the Tipsy 2.
Hello. Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Tipsy 2. How are you doing, Rebecca?
Good.
Good.
You know what I was just thinking right now, literally? Um, you know how like some people have like, you know how like Beyonce has like her beehive and like the juicy scoop, she has the juicy scoopers and different what will ours be? What will our fans be?
The Tipsy Tours?
The drunkos?
Drunkies?
Like, you know how we should want to say to, like, we would want to probably say like, hi, Tipsy Twoser, like, or whatever the thing is.
I get what you're saying. We'll have to think
so
about that.
we
And then
have
next
to.
week we'll do that.
We will name you, even though you don't want to be named, and you will like it.
You will like every minute of it.
All 205 of you, which I'm so excited. Yay!
We're getting there, guys. We are getting there.
Stick with us. You're here at the beginning. I mean, don't you want those bragging rights?
I feel like everybody's rolling their eyes.
They're like, oh my God, click, swipe.
Swipe. Next.
I know. Oh, well, that's all right.
It's okay.
We're silly for no reason.
So what's going on?
I was going to say, I wanted to ask you, I didn't want to talk to you about it earlier because I know it's emotional. If you don't want to talk about it now, we don't have to, but I know you've had an upsetting week and you've been dealing with a lot. I know.
I am so sure that like so many people have lost a pet. Like I know that you have, and so many of my friends have. And I had a dog that his name was Oliver. It was actually Oliver James, and I ended up having to put him down on Saturday, and it is the worst thing ever. I mean, if you've ever had a pet and you've had to put them down, it is honestly like the worst thing ever. Like I've never had to put a pet down.
Yeah.
And he was 88 pounds. He was all white with one big black spot on his butt, pity mix, and he was the sweetest dog. I worked with a rescue a long time ago, and I adopted my first pit bull, Lily Ian. I like middle names for my dogs.
I mean, by the way, that's my middle name, so I'm sure that came into play.
And so I adopted Lily first, and then we felt like she needed a playmate. So then we worked with the same rescue, Mercy's Door Pit Bull Rescue, and we got Oliver. And their personalities were so different.
Oh.
Like Lily is like an asshole, and she came from like, quick background, she came from like, a horrible situation like here in Ohio, and she was born and her mom was frozen to the ground because some asshole, used her for, breeding. And then so it was just a whole thing. So we had Oliver for 10 years, and he was the best dog. He was the sweetest dog ever. Like when people were like, you have pit bulls? I'm like, yeah, but he's
like baby.
He's the biggest baby. Yeah. Like he would be like, if somebody like came into my house, a stranger or robber or something, he'd be like, hey, how's it going? So if you give me a treat, I'm going to take you right upstairs and show you where they're sleeping.
I will take you to be the killer.
Yes. And whereas Lily would have like mauled them. No, I'm kidding. She would not have mauled them, but she would have attacked because that's just her personality.
Yeah.
But no, like Saturday, his breathing started, his back legs started going out, because those bully breeds, like their back legs go out fast, and so his breathing, he started getting mast cells, and so I rushed him over to the vet, and I don't know why, but I thought real quickly, I'm going to take Lily with me because I just had a really bad feeling. So I put Lily in the car, got Oliver in the car, and took him over to the vet. And kind of long story short, the vet was like, listen, I could do tests and x-rays and all of that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, all we can really do is just give him pain pills. And he's like, it's not going to correct, what's actually wrong with him. And he's suffering. And that's all I needed to know, is that he was suffering. So, crumble to the ground, and immediately the vet and all the vet techs were just staring at me, and I'm like sobbing and snotting, and I'm like holding on to him, and they're like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, okay, I made the decision to do it. But the cool thing is this vet hospital had a separate room, and it was like so comfy and homey.
Yeah, you were telling me
like
about
they had like
this.
a nice little couch and a comfy chair and like all sorts of just stuff for him. And they had him on a gurney. And he was kind of like strapped down, but then they had a blanket over him, so he just had his head up.
It looks like he's at a
And
spa.
yeah, it looked like he was at a spa. And so I went in and I was like, I'm not ready. I'm not. They're like, take all the time you
Yeah.
need. So, I brought Lily in and I kept lifting her up so that, he could see her because he was attached to her.
Yeah.
And so, then my daughter came over, FaceTime my son, and we were giving him treats. And the cutest thing is they had this sign that said, no dog should go to heaven without tasting chocolate. And then they had Hershey Kisses next to
That
it.
is so cute.
And so, like, I was obviously a sobbing hot mess.
Did you give Ollie a Hershey Kiss?
He wouldn't take it. He wouldn't eat it. He was like, I'm not allowed to have chocolate, Mom, remember? No.
Yeah.
But
like,
they had, like, peanut butter and Cheese Whiz and all
that
these
is
treats and
so
stuff.
cute.
So, like, we were feeding them. And so then, probably an hour and a half went by after Lex got there. And so I was like, all right, Lex, let's, go ahead and do this. And so we called on the phone that we were ready. And I was like, inconsolable.
Of course.
Alexis was inconsolable. My son was on FaceTime and he's like this. Watching us. So I lifted Lily up. I let Oliver say goodbye to Lily and her say goodbye. And the vet came in and he's like, they had already put like an IV in. And the vet's like, it's going to go very fast. It's going to be like literally 20 seconds. I'm like, what? I'm not ready. And
well, you don't want it to be long and drawn out.
I know. Yeah. So I like literally dropped to my knees. I held his face, like we were face to face. I held his face in my hand and I just kept saying, you were such a good boy. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Alexis was like holding on to him. Oh, I know this is so dramatic. But you know what?
Anybody that's ever had a pet knows how hard
animals
this is.
are our babies, our fur babies.
Yeah.
And he went through a lot of emotional stuff with me.
Mm-hmm.
And, and he was just such a good boy. So I just held his face in there and I told him, because like whenever he went to go see my mom for the night, my mom would always make them peanut butter cookies. Uh-huh. So I was like, you're going to go see Nana and she's going to have peanut butter cookies waiting for you. And the vet was just kind of like, okay, psycho. Like, seriously.
Oh my God.
So it literally, I was so surprised at how short of a time. Like, he's like, it's going to make him go to sleep. So he put it in, he put his head down, he went to sleep. And that was that. And, but they let us stay for however long we wanted. And
that's nice.
I guess, and then after he passed, I lifted Lily up and I let her, because I wanted her to see that he was gone.
Yeah. Because
I didn't want her to go home and be like, where's Ollie? Because they were like this. And so she did. She sniffed him and licked him. And so, and then it was, and then you just leave and it's so hard, you're like, now what? And they're like, okay, well, we'll do the cremation and all of that. And I just left feeling like, oh my God, this is awful. Like once Lily goes, I don't think I'll ever get another dog unless I remarry someone that has one or we decide to get one. Never again. That was just way too hard. Yeah. But yeah,
it's
so
tough. I'm sorry.
Thank you. It does. It sucked.
It's funny because when you were telling me on the phone, and we kind of knew that this is where it was going with sweet Ollie.
Yeah.
I was okay on the phone with you, but when I went and sat down and told my mom, I'm like, oh my God, Jen had to put her dog Ollie down. I started sobbing.
Yeah.
I was sobbing so hard. And she just started to tear up. She doesn't know your dog at all. Like I had no relationship really with Ollie because I'm scared of him because of the other one, Lily. She scares me.
But she's so docile now.
But I could be around Ollie. Ollie was always fine with me. But I just was like, I don't know, retelling the story and telling the part where you were saying about how you were just saying, you're such a good boy. Because that reminds me, I did the same thing with my dog, too. We just had a little Yorkie. He was 15, but we had to put him down because of the same reasons. They're at some point they have cancer, they get in pain, and there's no more Band-Aids you can put on them.
Right.
And you just have to do the humane thing and let them go. But it's so difficult.
Oh my God, it's so hard. It's like, I looked at Alexis and I was like, how am I supposed to decide when it's his time? But, I guess at the end of the day, I feel so blessed and so happy that I was actually able to be there because I've been so scared that I'd come home and he'd be gone and he suffered alone while I was at work or something.
And scared.
And so this time, I was able to go in, be with him. Lexus was there, Liam, Lily, all of it. So I am just so happy that that happened. Now, on the other side, my other dog, Lily, she is so depressed.
Yeah.
She is hidden in the back of the closet. And I literally called the vet today and I was like, I know this is going to sound stupid, but do you have like depression pills for dogs? And they're
My
like,
dog
can we
is
call you
going
back?
through-
And they
yeah, they're
never
like-
called me back. I'm like, okay, I guess not.
Psycho on line 1.
But like, he's not suffering anymore, so that makes me happy.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. He had quite a few little issues, and it was starting to look like that. How long do pit bulls? What's their lifespan?
Their
Typically?
lifespan typically is like between 10 and like 13 years is what I was told. But a lot of bullies. Now Lily she's my mix and she's got greyhound in her, so she's long and like thin. Ollie is fatty and he was
Yeah,
88 pounds in his back legs. He's more of like the bully
the
dog,
traditional
traditional bully with pit in him. But his back legs, they started going out first, and that's what they
common.
say. It's
Yeah.
common to do that. But then, he had that tumor removed, and he had mast cells, and then his breathing, and I was like, this poor thing, I can't let him go on like this. So.
Yeah, because he also had a huge mass on his paw
Yeah,
for a real
they
long
removed
time.
it.
And, yeah.
It was like softball size, and we thought he was going to lose his whole foot. But that was amazing. Like he didn't even lose like a toe or anything,
Yeah.
So he had a lot of issues.
So when we used to talk about this, and I'm like, Jen, it's probably leading down that road. You were like, but I just feel like he has so much life left in him because he always came across as so happy and
Yeah,
joyful and always
yeah.
tail wagging and
Yeah.
all of that. And I didn't really get that, what you were saying, until I seen that picture. And I'm like,
Yeah.
then how do you know? Because
Yeah,
look
how
at
do
that
you
face.
know? Like, but when I saw his breathing, and
Yeah, that would
in
be
all
scary.
honesty, like when I came downstairs, he literally looked at me like, "Mom, I can't do it anymore."
I'm
Like
tired.
I was on my way to work, and I immediately called him. I said, "I'm sorry, I'm not coming in. I was supposed to be there like an hour." I'm like, "No way, no way, no way." And they're like, "It's fine, Jennifer. Just go do what you need to do." And I got him in the car, and I'm glad I did because he would have just suffered.